Okay, good day everybody. My name is Waleed Ali, and I will be your instructor for this course, Intro to Human Resources. Very easy course. Um, as long as you guys come to class and do the work, you guys will pass. So don't get too worried about this. It's just something you guys will have to do and get over and move on with. So basically, you guys will be seeing these live slides before we, these lecture slides before we go live. So we're going to be going live after you guys watch this, and we'll be discussing these slides. Okay, so let's move forward. So what is human resources? All right. So it's a division of a business that is charged with finding, screening, recruiting, and training job applicants, as well as administering employee benefit programs. HR plays a key role in helping companies deal with the fast-changing business environment and a greater demand for quality employees in the 21st century. Okay, so what is HR? What is human resources? What do they do? Basically, what they do is they find employees, they screen them, like do the interviews and figure out what they're doing, where they're from, all that stuff. They recruit them, they train the job applicants, and then they also do benefit programs as well as a bunch of other things, right? So these are just kind of like the basic things that they do. So that's basically what a company's HR department does. So the presence of an HR department is an essential component of any business, regardless of the size. An HR department is tasked with maximizing employee productivity and protecting the company from any issues that may arise within the workforce. HR responsibilities include compensation and benefits, recruitment, firing, and keeping up to date with any laws that may affect the company and its employees. Right. So, HR basically controls the employee's welfare, but also mostly it controls the um, uh, it's working for the company, right? So they're there to minimize any type of risks or issues that could arise from within the workforce. Okay, so the six activities of HR, managing and using people effectively, right? So basically, what they do is they manage employees, and then they put them into places where they see the employees to be the most fit to bring the most, to be the most efficient and most effective towards company goals, right? So that's HR is one of the HR's activities. Second one is tying performance appraisals and compensations to competencies. Um, Developing competencies that enhance individual and organizational performance. So basically, tying performance appraisals to competencies is basically what they're saying is um, uh, tying in like performance. So basically, setting goals and setting standards for employees that hit their goals and stuff like that. They set the goals, and then um, they also set the compensation, what they get, right? So if the company does it, how much they get, right? Then developing competencies that enhance individual organization performance. So basically, what they do is they develop goals and strategies that will help the individual reach their maximum potential. Increasing the innovation, creativity, and flexibility necessary to enhance competitiveness, right? Applying new approaches to work process design, succession planning, career development, organizational mobility, managing the implementation and integration of technology through improved staffing, training, and communication with employees. Okay, so that's basically the six activities of HR. That's what HR does on a daily basis, right? So managing people, showing people what they'll receive, what type of compensations they'll receive for the type of work that they complete, the good work they complete. Increase innovation and creativity by enhancing competitiveness, right? So you get the people working in your company to be, how do you get them to be more competitive, that they start working harder towards creating new and better ways to do the business, applying new approaches and managing the integration of technology through improved staffing, training, and communication. So that's just basics. Human resource management. So we talked about HR. Now, what's HRM, human resource management? So, as a practice, businesses and organizations depend on three key resources. They depend on physical resources, such as materials and equipment, financial resources, such as cash, credit, and debt, and then they also depend on people. So, there can be no doubt that people play a vital role. Obviously, if you have all these things, you don't have the right people, then your business is not going to flourish. Having a thorough strategy and a marketable product and efficient processes are all important, but all of this depends on the ability of people within an organization to execute strategies, plans, and processes to make a business successful. The human resource function defines the success as an organization. Organization's HR function plays a major role in the growth of its bottom line and the success of its business strategy. The very nature of a company is in its people, and giving direction to people is what human resource management is all about. So giving direction to the people that run all the cash and the materials and assets of a company, that is what human resource management is. So human resource management is also a strategic approach to the employment, development, and well-being of the people working in an organization. Human resources management involves all management decisions and actions that affect the relationship between the organization and its employees. In other words, it's human resources. Like we already touched on this before, HRM refers to the management of all decisions within an organization that are related to people. So as long as it's related to the people in the organization, that's what human resources management takes care of. It concentrates on making the most of the human resources that are at the disposal of the organization and enhances the performance of employees to achieve the organization's objectives. HRM ensures a seamless and effective application of policies and processes. HRM is there to keep balance between employee needs and satisfaction and organization's profitability and capability to reach its objectives. So what HRM does is you have the employees and then you have the company, and the company wants to get to a certain goal. The only way the company gets to a certain goal is by having these employees work a certain way and achieve certain goals, correct? So the way that happens is the intermediary between the company and the employees is the human resources team. The human resources team is hired by the company, so it is funded obviously by the company. Now, when that happens, there's some sort of biases that happen, which we'll get into in the later chapters and stuff. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that human resources management department works for the company, so they're really looking out for the well-being of the employees, yes, but mostly the company. So if the employee's not performing or if it's going through something, blah blah, HRM will have to step in and either replace the employee or do whatever they can to motivate the employee to do better for the company. That's basically the job of HRM. To understand HRM, the functions of HRM must be taken into consideration. So there's three different functions of HRM. There's managerial, operative, and advisory. So what are the managerial functions? So planning. The planning function of HRM ensures the best fit between employees and jobs while avoiding manpower shortages or surpluses for the organization. So planning, right? If you're running the HR department of a restaurant, and you know that the days that are very busy, you're going to need a lot more people versus the days that are not busy, then that's where the planning comes into play, right? You schedule people in for the days that are busy, and you schedule them out for days that are not busy. Organizing. Organizing is a function of HRM that involves developing an organizational structure to ensure the accomplishment of the organizational goals. The structure is usually represented by an organization chart, blah, blah, blah. So organizing, right? Managerial functions, you have to organize. Directing, right? Just telling people to contribute maximum towards organizational goals, tapping maximum potentialities of employees, right? So basically you're trying to just, you're empowering and pushing employees as much as you can. And then controlling, right? So post-planning, organizing, and directing performance of an employee is to be evaluated, verified, and compared with organizational goals. If performance is found to be deviating from the plan, control measures are to be taken. So controlling basically, so let's just say that you're working towards a goal and then the goal gets met, then what they do is they do a revision of how long did it take this employee to get this job completed, what better things can they do, what was the things they did, not really good, what was the things they didn't do so good, and work on those things to make them better in the future. Okay, so operative functions, recruitment and selection, like we talked about before, job analysis and design, like we spoke about, performance management, learning and developing, compensation management. They also create policies and take care of the employee welfare. So basically, how the employees are feeling and their wellness, right? So take care of that as well. Advisory functions. So top management advice. One of the critical HRM functions is to advise the top management in formulating policies and procedures. The advisory function of HRM also advises the top management on appraisal of manpower. The function also involves advice regarding maintaining high quality human relations and improving employee morale. And then departmental head advice. Under this HRM function, HRM advises the heads of various departments on policies related to job design, description, recruitment, selection, and appraisals. Okay, so they talk to department heads and they talk to top management and give them advice. So my sister-in-law is a HR manager, and she makes well over $100,000 a year, and it's a very, very prestigious job. You work with top level executives to create plans and policies and take care and keep your most valuable employees and let go of the ones that are the least valuable. There's a lot that goes into it. So we're going to learn more about this in the coming weeks, and that's it. And I'll see you guys in class.